Michael Short.
You're too big! Monster! So many.
66554. 1. Geography. A degree of silence I still speak of fondly. A single car 2 miles off, popping, rustling, a veritable ruckus if the wind stood still enough. Many midnights I stood upon a high hill, alone above wide wheat acres, and heard coyotes kill more clearly a mile off than my own thoughts come to me here. 2. Population breakdown. Population 312. Well, within a 15-mile radius. Decent white folk, 70%, wetbacks, 24%, includes brown folk of indeterminate race. Blacks, plus or minus 2%, they never last long here, you know. Indecent white folk, 12%, happies, hippies, trash, etc. I spent my formative years among the good, righteous, pure as a driven snow, white-bread folk of the world, thanking white Jesus every day that my mother was pale enough to bleed the brown out of my father's skin, giving me that most blessed right to check that most crucial box, white, comma, Caucasian. 3. Employment. Thumbs thick and purpled farm folk pulling thin livings from hogs, hens, heads of beef, palms black, slivered with silver mechanics, maybe Votech, maybe Army, maybe just 20 years pulling wrenches side their daddy. From these men and women hard as January topsoil, I learned what the word proletariat meant long before a sarcastic young man in a tweed jacket told me Americans have no concept of working hard. Greasy spoons abound, barely legal teens shuffled in evenly with broke-breasted wrecks of womanhood, slinging hash and bacon, black coffee, gizzards, and chicken fried steak, all the fine cuisine of 66554. You see their young eyes go wide when one of those smoke-belching behemoths spits up black, but in the same breath wheezes, "When I was your age, honey, I looked just like you." 4. Religion. Shoulder to thick shoulder, the gray faces of blue-collared, brown-collared, no-collared at all, chapped faces folded, chapped hands folded, pensive praise. Methodists, Lutherans, supposed all-faith evangelicals, a Catholic here or there when they dared to show their face. I lived and breathed the dry, desiccated dogma of Midwestern Christianity, more moaning than rejoicing. And each Sunday, sipping bitter juice from a plastic thimble, I remembered my youth as a Southern Baptist, one of 10 white faces in our church. A church in the more decidedly foreign, bitter racial territory of North Florida, but there were no gray faces there. Instead, they were black, brown, buttercream, and burnt umber. Those were the faces of the colors of my religious youth. And way up front behind the pulpit, my happy father rained down fire and love, faith and brimstone, filling us bursting with passion for our life of poverty. God damn, do I miss that beautiful sound. Mouths open, heads back, hands up and heaving, lifting a truly joyful noise to their Father. 20 years later, my father makes less beautiful noise, having lost his God along twin decades of tragedy, shame, and a failing mortal coil. I never believed in God, not once, but I sure as hell believed in my daddy. 66554. I take it with me wherever I go. It slips into my speech, my ways when I'm careless or drunk. It reflects and bends and shapes everything that I see, everyone that I love. It persists, it confounds, and yet as hard as I kick it, as many times as I spit upon its memory, sully its treasures by only speaking of its faults, it's still a part of me. Hell, it is me. All the flaws and fantastic ripped raw breaths of this hard, gorgeous life. As much as I correct my tongue, as many paintings as I view, all the hours poring over exotic and learned highfalutin lore, I still find myself thumbing through to the nitty-gritty dirt van, frying up some chicken gizzards with gravy, and missing my front porch, where all the world could be listened to in the absence of mankind's crude, rumbling rushes. 66554. It's the home behind my eyes.
Judges, let me see what you thought of that poem. Got a slow judge over here. Uh-oh. From low to high, we've got an 8.2, a 9.0, 9.2, 9.5, and 9.7 for Jimbo. So I was going to say earlier about weather.com. I've noticed about my friend had noticed about weather.com. He told me that, like, it can never figure out where you're from, right? So, like, you type in Manhattan on weather.com, right? And it's like Manhattan, New York. But, like, you go to a porn site, like, immediately, it's like, oh, you are in 66502, Manhattan, Kansas. We've got 3 women that want to talk to you. Like, why can't weather be more like porn? That's all I'm asking. Well, my friend asked that, I mean. Anyway, hopefully the next poet up on the stage will be more entertaining than that. And her name is Sherry!
That mic is really short.
Will you find out?
I got some technical difficulties with my computer. Hold on a second. You guys can be patient, right? No. Fudge. Alright. So, Auntie Mae's is a beautiful, beautiful spot located in Manhattan. Right? But I'm not going to talk about Auntie Mae's tonight. I'm going to talk about Rodina's. You know the coffee shop on the corner here in Aggieville? Who likes Rodina's? Yeah, it's a great coffee shop. That's why I wrote a poem about it. Okay. It's called Coffee Shop. It's really original. Inside a small shop on the corner is where we halt tension-coated anxieties. Leaving the tainted behind, we wander inside to melt our sorrows. Pressure lifting up, we discover our fundamental truths. As glasses clink. 5 converse concurrently, and proverbial aroma of roasted beans in their liquidated state throttles us in a whirlwind explosion of cappuccino bomb. The chimes in the door jingle, and we turn our head to welcome a visitor. Old chums meet again. Old chums meet again with a greeting like 2 Greek drunks. Pa steams the espresso machine in beauty. Computer died. Like some hot rod job of deep cherry red, more flashy than ever. Now kick up your feet to the chair nearby, excusing the racket of reading and typing and scribbling and chatter and God's tearful trumpet pinging sadly, reminding us of a broken world. Oh, look at the old man in the corner nibbling a quiche. This haven provides our euphoria. These creative-minded consumers have forsaken their lives to become a legacy. We discuss politics while falling in love with strangers' eyes. So intricate and too precise, born to be excitingly misunderstood. Like a bit of love with a touch of honey, like us, it's gone too soon. So you've had your chai and it's time to go. You stand light and you walk light because you feel so damn good. Rejuvenated in thought, you think. Outside a small shop on the corner.